these are other infectious agent virology represented by the SchrDbb. We reference Lippincott illustrated review of microbiology by Cynthia Cornilesson, Bruce Fisher, and Richard Harvey. So here we're going to visualize other unconventional infectious agents, meaning that they have not yet been thought to really cause infections. So other unconventional infectious agents are mostly prions, and there is a particular disease that is caused by prions, and which is called Creutzfeldt syndrome. Is it correct? And that Creutzfeldt syndrome is because of blood transfusion. So blood transfusion, after being tested of all infectious pathologies, all infectious agents such as viruses, bacteria, and all that, patients having blood transfusion are going to suffer from demyelinating disease of the brain later on. Is because of these prions. Is it clear? It's a particular disease that is caused by prions, Creutzfeldt syndrome. Now, now we continue with electron microscopy of prions proteins. So this, you can see fibrillar protein accumulate in the brain of the patient with transmissible spongiform encephalopathy. Is it clear? So fibrillar proteins, these fibrillar proteins are going to accumulate in patients with that transmissible spongiform encephalopathy because of prions. Now, what one proposed mechanism of reproduction of infectious prions, how do they reproduce? This is only a theory, it's not yet proved. So we have interaction of the infectious PRP molecules with a normal PRP cause the normal form to fold into infectious form. Is it clear? So we have two main forms of the prions. Is it clear? So we have the alpha sheet and we have the beta plated sheet of we have the alpha chain and the beta plated sheet of the prion. Is it clear? Now, the non-infectious form is the alpha helix form of the prion, while the infectious form of the prion is going to be the beta plated sheet of the prion. Is it clear? Now, when there is interaction between the infectious form and the non-infectious form, is when there's interaction between the infection and non-infectious form, all of them become become infectious form. Is it clear? So when there's interaction between the infectious and the normal non-infectious, all of them become infectious form as shown here. Is it clear? Also, these two molecules now can dissociate, is it clear, and convert two additional infectious non-infectious prion now to infectious molecule, to infectious prion. It means that what? It means that this prion here, which have become infectious because of one infectious prion, can dissociate now, and then they can go now and interact with two non-infectious prion, to both of them to become infectious. Now they are going to dissociate again. This one is going to go and attach to a non-infectious and become, all of them are going to become infectious. So this results in an exponential increase in the infectious form. Is it clear? So these are the different diseases that are involved with this prion disease. So the prion disease can consist of the bovine spongiform encephalopathy, commonly called the mad cow disease. So arose in British, presumably caused by the feeds processed by animal parts prepared from diseased sheep and cattle. Is it clear? So that is bovine. So that is what is called the bovine spongiform encephalopathy, commonly called the mad cow disease. So every cattle that were fed with processed part of animal part that had the disease were affected. Is it clear? Now the next disease is a KU. It's an example of human-to-human transmission disease. Is it clear? Of this prion disease found in KU. So acquired individual exposure diseased brain tissue in the course of ritualistic cannibalism. So here actually the patient were doing cannibalism, and then when they were doing cannibalism in Papua New Guinea, the patients were having these brain disorders. Is it clear? So the brain disorders because of ritualistic cannibalism. Every individual who were affected were just giving the transmission to other individuals. Is it clear? Now, the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease of more generally significance are documented cases of iatrogenic or unintentional introduced medical procedures like blood transfusion, which is going to transmit this prion that's going to contaminate the human pituitary derived growth hormone. Is it clear? So this Creutzfeldt-Jakob syndrome is going to result in demyelinating disease in the brain that affect the patient. So actually, it is just telling you that one. When usually, as you can see, these diseases are going to affect people of usually the same species. Prion disease affect people of usually the same species. Like this bovine spongiform encephalopathy, if a cattle eat a part of another cattle, it is going to be transmitted among those species. So that is only a rule by God to tell you that you are not supposed to eat somebody of a similar species to you. Is it clear? So these prions are just there to tell you that it's not normal for one species to feed and not the same species of himself. Like this coal which is found here is because of cannibalism. So it is a disorder of brain disorder that occur because one patient that had a prion is infecting other people with prion because they were doing cannibalism. And this is also the same with Creutzfeldt-Jakob syndrome. When there is transmission of blood from one person to another, though we are doing all the tests to visualize everything, there is always one thing which cannot be identified, which is going to result to brain disorder, which is Creutzfeldt-Jakob syndrome. Is it clear? So these are the different diseases which are affecting the human being. So when you are doing you are feeding on another individual part. So these are the similarities between all of the microorganisms. So they all can be transmitted from healthy individual, and they can based on the Koch's postulate, can be transmitted to a healthy individual and inoculation with disease tissue. They can all multiply in the host cell. They are characteristic and reproducible pathologic disorder based on Koch's postulate. In strains different in virulence and species specificity. Now, what are the differences based on prions mostly? It is compared with conventional infectious agents. Prions are extremely resistant to inactivation by ultraviolet light. Is it clear? So it's not possible. It's very difficult for you to stop prions by using ultraviolet light or X-ray, by just like viruses and bacteria. Viruses and bacteria can easily be stopped by ultraviolet light and X-ray, but prions is very extremely difficult to stop it by ultraviolet and X-ray. So it is just a rule by God to tell us that it is not good to do cannibalism. Species to species transmission is not favorable. Is it clear? So just like pool that was killing people because of their cannibalistic effect. So their cannibalistic mode of life. So no humoral and immune inflammatory response is also observed in cases of prion. No virus-like particles can be seen by electron microscopy isolated to visualize prions, and certain tissue, unlike conventional infectious disease, can be inherited. Is it clear? So diseases with prions can be inherited more than disease here. So those are the different diseases that were visualized on other unconventional infectious agents. So say thanks for your kind attention. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for our channel, Science Video Maker. Thank you.